Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel, Huub Hildenbrand Guitar Academia. Today we will go on with our series on the different makams in Turkish classical music. And this whole series here is like we go more into a bit more into detail about like every Turkish classical music makam, which is most closely related to the actual tetra and pentachords there are. Yeah, we have all these tetra and pentachords, the basic building blocks of the Turkish classical music. And we are taking now each of these tetra pentachords and look at the most natural things. This will excerpt of the scale, you can say, the most natural things it will do, how it will behave, and especially how it will extend to form, be extended to form the whole octave of the scale. Okay, so that's the idea here, and we talked about that's the fourth lesson today, and we talked about in the first lesson about rust. Then we talked about Uşak. Last time we talked about Kurdi, and now we are talking about Hicaz. And by the way, down in the description below you find the link to the today's PDF, which you really should download. There are really some more informations. Especially this time, which I'm not talking about in the lesson here, but which I assume that you download the PDF and that you have it like in the written form there. Also, there are some little fragments to practice to play, which I show you in this lesson. But there you see it also how they how you notate them and how I notate them actually, because I also worked on a kind of a system or like symbols also, how to actually notate all this playing microtones on the guitar with these little bendings and so on. And but I also advise you actually to go to my website huubhildenbrand.com, to the academia page there. There, when you scroll down below the shop, there is like a free PDF, like a legend of all these different abbreviations and symbols used here on Guitar Academia, and this will be updated sometimes, of course. And there is also a date assigned, so you can check back every few months or year, 1 year maybe, I don't know. Okay, Hicaz. When we talk about Hicaz in Turkish classical music, there we can say it's actually like there are like different possibilities of the Hicaz scale. Actually, first let's talk. What is Hicaz? I mean, we talked about that, so I assume that you already know that. Also to maybe have listened to the previous lessons, because we are talking about I assume that you know certain things, so don't be confused if you don't understand what I'm talking about. Just go back to previous lessons and then you will get it. Hicaz, and let's stay for now to make it also simple for me. Let's stay for now playing without microtones, so just the plain scales, so that we play notes in the 12-tone equal temperament, because it's also possible to play this on an equal temperament, 12-tone equal temperament scale. These things what we were dealing with today, and later on I will talk about the microtonal versions of certain pitches, which are really important actually. But anyway. So Hicaz is actually we can compare Hicaz with harmonic minor fifth mode. that would be already like a complete 7-note scale. So if we are in E Hicaz, so we, as you already know, we transpose all these different maqams and things all to E to be able to compare them better, and also to have this E, I mean to really make it work for the guitar. That's the idea. The guitar has this low E, and so this gives us a good possibility to play our root while checking out different tetrapentachords, different microtonal variations, and compare them very easily. But yeah, like Yerinde, like normally this maqam Hicaz is built on A. Yerinde is A, and like the seir is a bit I think there are different seirs because we are not in particular talking about like one version of Hicaz. We just put it all together already, because you will get this whole thing when you follow this lesson. So if we take A harmonic minor and we start, or we have the root on E, yeah. Then we have already like the tetrachord of Hicaz, the pentachord of Hicaz, and also there is one whole scale, and one Hicaz scale which is called Humayun. So what we have, the heart or the essence or of Hicaz, also sometimes called like Chesney. This is like Chesney is like just the kind of, you hint at the taste, the color, the smell of Hicaz is actually this. Yeah, there is no other tetrapentachord, no other scale who has this E as a root and has this happening, like a minor second and a major third. So that's actually the heart of this. And then you can extend this thing. You make up a Hicaz tetrachord, and you can make a Hicaz pentachord. So this Chesney, just these three notes, the tetra and pentachord, they just share the same notes. Yeah, that's Hicaz. And when you take this Hicaz tetrachord, you can actually start this Buselik pentachord from A. So your A is getting the güçlü, the most dominant note, and you show this. Yeah, you show this A minor quality. So you have a Buselik pentachord and a Hicaz tetrachord. And this whole thing we call Hicaz Humayun. So it's one color, one possibility of Hicaz. And we talk about these different colors now, like Hicaz, Uzal, Humayun, and Sirgül Hicaz, and they all also have like different ways how they extend above and below the octave. So below the E and above the E. So that's all on the page, and I do not want to lose too much time here talking about these details and stuff. But you find it there. Just download the PDF, and also it supports this channel, of course. Thank you. All right, so if we take Hicaz tetrachord and Buselik pentachord on A, we have the complete scale. Yeah, and we already made sure that it's like framework 2, which has the A as a dominant, as a most prominent note. So we always, when we play this Humayun version of Hicaz, then we always go around this E minor, A minor sound, and then but resolving it to E at the end. So this is maybe also for a lot of you it's maybe a bit tricky to, if we go to E then after playing like Yeah, I really hear this now as my root. Here I really want to end, and that's the ending. That's it feels like finalis, like the karar, the root. By the way, the yedden, the leading tone of the scale, is of course like D. Yeah? So you have D yedden, leading tone, and E is a karar, the tonic. And but when you're not so, I mean, I know when I started to go into this I mean, when I go more into this Turkish classical music, then I also had some problems actually, like really hearing this as a root. It really always felt like, oh, that's the dominant. That's the dominant of A minor. Yeah, that it should resolve to A, and then I'm happy, then I'm at home, so to speak. So it will take a while till you maybe hear this E Hicaz as really as a home base, as this is a karar. Here you end on E. Of course, it's very, 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 very much connected to like Western harmony, to the different chords and functions and scales. It's like an A minor tonality, you can say. It's like we are in A minor, and E dominant sevenths flat 9 is our dominant chord. So we can really think that way. But of course, it's a bit like maybe more subtle in a way, because, as I said, we end on E there. That's there we feel at home. So needs maybe some adjustment with your ears and thinking. The other version of Hicaz is actually just called Hicaz. It's like original Hicaz, whatever. It's if you go the same tetrachord, but then instead of showing A buselik minor, you show A rust, and rust is a kind of a major version. We talked in the first Maqam lessons, like 3 lessons ago. We talked about rust, so it has actually a lower major third. There's also a sign there, like it's a like kind of 17 cent lowered third. In practical use, also more, but that's not really what we want to talk about now. It's just that you also can have this major quality on the 4th degree in Hicaz. Yeah, so you also can play it like just plain 12-tone equal temperament. And then have this. Also has the yedden, the leading tone, is also D. So whole step below the karar. So you also have framework 2. So your 4th degree is güçlü, the most important note. You always show this major quality on A, the rust color, and then you go to end on E, Hicaz. Then you have uzal. Uzal actually has the same notes as Hicaz, as a Hicaz where what we just talked about, when you have A rust here, if you do not take A as your root, or as your temporary root, or your güçlü, your main important note here, but you take B as your most important note, then and the rest of the notes stay the notes stay the same. So you have actually like uşak on B. So you have sorry, that was wrong. Have to be careful. from Ushak on B, Ushak tetrachord, and then I have this. The construction is then like Hicaz pentachord and Ushak tetrachord, and there you see actually like Ushak tetrachord, Hicaz tetrachord and Rust pentachord has the same notes as Hicaz pentachord and Ushak tetrachord, and you see this all on the page here. That's also a reason why you should maybe download that and see it in front of you. Then you really see what's happening there. But the Güçlü, the most important note, the dominant note shifts. Yeah. So at one time it's like framework 2. The A is the most important note, and the other time it's framework 1. It's also more like, of course, this note is much more confirming E as a kind of a root, because it's a perfect fifth, confirming this whole, makes this whole construction a bit stronger, a bit more stable. I also feel in a way that this framework 1 has actually like a kind of a brighter quality than framework 2. Framework 2 is a bit more hidden, a bit more mysterious maybe. It's not so straightforward. Darker in a way. Okay, so we talked about these different variants, or the different, when we say, when today's musicians like Turkish classical musicians say, okay, let's have a Hicaz taksim. It's mostly like a kind of they do not really care too much. Is this Hicaz? Is this Uzal? Or is this Humayun? It's more like they are all in a way belonging together somehow. So you can mix them. There's another one. It's also Hicaz. It's very important. Hicaz color also. This is Sirgüli Hicaz, and Sirgüli Hicaz is a bit different from the other, but still we will talk about that in this lesson, because adding Sirgüli Hicaz gives you a more like complete picture now of what is Hicaz. So what kind of things like this Hicaz tetra or pentachord, the basic Hicaz tetra and pentachord, what that is, how this is actually extended in the most normal, natural way in Turkish classical music. So these are like the 4 different types we are talking about today. So Sirgüli Hicaz is the 4th possibility, and Sirgüli Hicaz has actually like a Hicaz pentachord, and so. And on the 5th degree, so it's also framework 1. On the 5th degree, it has another Hicaz sound, another Hicaz tetrachord. So yeah, without the microtones now, just the structure. Hicaz, pentachord, and then Hicaz. Hicaz. Hicaz pentachord there. And the Yedden is the major 7th. Yeah, it's a half step below the root, below the karar. It's like a 4 comma kind of lower, or 5 comma actually. No, sorry, 5 comma. It's all written there, so it's good. It's 5 comma. So it's a little bit actually. If we have E as if we have E as a karar tone as a root, then we have actually a bit lowered major 7th, which is also a very beautiful note. But yeah, let's talk about that just in a second here. That's about intonation. For now, we can just also, like, if you're maybe a pianist watching this video, or if you're a guitarist which is more lazy, and doesn't want to bend the strings, it's okay. You can still play these Hicaz scales, but of course they are maybe not that nice. They are more like, you will hear the difference. So you can actually play without changing any intonations, just 12 tone equal temperament. You can have kind of that. That's this kind of a color of Sirguli Hicaz. So having this just the basic structure in the 12 tone equal temperament system. All right, so that's the different extensions you can expect, or which are most natural when having like a Hicaz tetra or pentachord. Then you know, okay, it can go on with Rast on the 4th degree on A in this case, or with Buselik on the 4th degree on A, or with Ushak on the 5th degree on B. And all these three, they have all like Jeden a whole step below the Karar. So the D is a leading tone. And we have Sirguli Hicaz, which is a Hicaz pentachord on E on the Karar. And then on the B, on the 5th, we have also like a Hicaz tetrachord. And Jeden, the leading tone of that Sirguli Hicaz, is a half step below the Karar, which equals the 7th note of the whole scale, because the 7th note is also D sharp. It's like the major third of the Hicaz tetrachord on B. Okay, now about intonation. Now it becomes interesting. Intonation of Hicaz. Hicaz has a root, has a perfect 4th and the perfect 5th. And this kind of a framework you are not touching in a way. I mean, it's of course, it's like when you very closely look at that, then you have to say, okay, the perfect 4th is actually here, it's like 2 cents too high. And the perfect 5th is actually like 2 cents too low, but 2 cents is really like something we should not worry about really, because to always try to also to vary these notes by just 2 cents, it's like the outcome is not really worth it. And also like there are tuning discrepancies anyway on the instrument, especially also on the guitar, so that you are sometimes maybe your notes are just right by accident and whatever. I mean, don't care about that. That's the shortcut here. Don't care about 5th and the perfect 5th, the root and the perfect 4th. That's really like the Western equal temperament. Kind of. Okay. But the minor second and the major third, they are different. And interestingly, we have a bit higher minor second. Remember in the lesson before, we spoke about Kurdi, And there we said, Kurdi has actually, and that's really beautiful, has a lowered minor second. It was like 9 cent lower, because it was like we go from E to F in Kurdi, we go 4 comma, and now this 4 comma was called B, yeah, so the interval B, and Bakir. And when we go from E to this Hicaz F, then it's 5 commas. That is S. It's called S, the interval. So it's 1 comma difference between the minor second of Kurdi and Hicaz. And we are talking now about the theory. This will also vary a little bit later. Okay, and 9 cent is not, when we go to this Hicaz F, which is 5 comma, we play actually, we have to play this F like 13 cent higher. So it's like just instead of this, it's maybe that. And when we do that right, it sounds very right. It sounds very, very clean. Actually, more clean than our Western version of this equal temperament. Like these both versions, the lower version of Kurdi and the higher version of Hicaz, they both sound actually better and more round, more clean, more expressive maybe, but especially more round. They're more fitting together with this root in this case, with E, than the equal temperament 12-tone equal temperament version of just the plain F. Yeah, you have the plain F, and when you raise it a bit, still the plain F, and now I raise it a bit. Yeah, it's a bit more fitting together with the E. Okay, so we have a little bit higher F, 13 cent, and we have a little bit or a little bit more maybe lower G sharp, which is almost exactly the same as, in theory, exactly the same as the pure major 7, so the pure major 7 of the harmonic series. So the distance from the 4th to the 5th partial. And this is actually, we can also we can play that note by just playing this harmonic here on the E string, then we know exactly about the intonation. But I just wanna remind you that I also put out a lesson where you or like a file. I put it down in the description below, the link to that file, with all the tuning tones. So actually what I'm just talking about with 2 cents or like these 13 cents, and this is like 4 and 5 comma, I actually have tones, tuning tones, which you can really use, all starting from E, so it's like exactly what we are talking about here. And you can play them for you, and then you can try to bend the note till that pitch, and you're really sure that you now play the 5th comma, and then you play the 4th comma, and the 13th comma, and then whatever comma. Okay, so if I play that, and then I bend my string, take some time. And now I have this note. It's like my major third according to the harmonic series, and then I play E. Yeah, and then you hear these notes are really melting. These two notes really become one sound instead of like, yeah, that sounds very wrong actually. If I play along my equal temperament, 12 tone equal temperament, major third, it sounds really wrong. It sounds out in a way. But having really this harmonic series, like fifth partial kind of, major third, then it's really like beautiful melting together, extremely well. This is also a sound actually where you can have like distortion on your guitar. You can really have a distorted sound, and with a major third here, if you do this kind of a bending that is like according to the harmonic series, and you don't have like this dirty kind of chaotic things happen when you have a distortion normally with a major third. Okay. So that's the way Hicaz is going in theory. And the theory of the Turkish tonal system, dividing the octave into 53 equal parts, and then you say, okay, that's 5 comma to F, and then 13 comma to G sharp, and another 5 comma to 12 comma. Huh? Yeah, sure, it's 12. Sorry. I'm a bit confused. Yes, so it's 5 comma to F, from E to F, and then 12 comma to the major third, and then another 5 comma to the A, to the perfect fourth. So it's S, A12, S. These are the names of the actual intervals. Okay, when we play that, I try my best. Now let me find this first. This pitch. I really try now to play this exact kind of. So now you heard with some little ants, you heard this Hicaz pentachord, Hicaz tetra pentachord, in a very like theoretical right way, in a very clean way, and I think your ears really felt quite satisfied with this result, because when I go back to my 12 tone equal temperament and I play the same, and when you compare that directly, instead of compare that, you really will feel, oh, this equal temperament, 12-tone equal temperament version really feels very brutal, very unmusical or whatever. If you really compare that directly, you feel, oh no, I want to go on. I do not want to stay too long on that note, especially with a G sharp, with a major third, but also with a minor second. I mean, yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, because we are so used to this 12-tone equal temperament. Everything we hear almost is in that kind of system, in that kind of tuning. And when I came to these lessons with Nuri Karademirli, with this oud master I studied with, and he played these other intonations of certain notes, I really felt, wow, this is so beautiful. And I immediately, without like having a long adjustment needed with my ears to get that, and that really gave me a clear idea or realization that these notes are just more natural. They're more the notes of like also harmonic series, and they are more connected. This whole, and it's really not when you study that and when you see how it's built with this really like pure perfect fifths, and the whole cycle is closing after almost closing after 53 perfect fifths. So that's something actually we talked about in the when we talked about the tonal system. So the first kind of lessons on Turkish classical music. There you when you study that, you understand why it's more natural. I mean, it definitely is. Okay, but of course, I mean, this music works differently. It's not so much about chords and playing always like minor and major chords and adding the sevens and nines and modulating like very freely through every kind of distant keys. No, it's really we stay a bit more longer, and it's linear. It's thought in a linear way, so we are more free actually to go into different other intonations, because we are not always in this framework of a chord. So we have more freedom to have maybe more expressive intonations, which would not sound good in a chordal, in a harmonic harmonic arrangement of the notes. So what is done with Hicaz in practice? There are actually different like variations possible, and just generally you can say there is this variation of even make the minor second, the F, even more higher, raise that pitch a bit more, maybe 1 comma more, and at the same time this works together with lowering the G sharp, the major third, also like 1 comma more. So it's like basically we have like kind of two versions, which from theory we can say the normal, the clean Hicaz tetrachord is 5 comma, 12 comma, 5 comma. But now we can also say, we can also make it more emotional, more expressive by saying we do like 6 comma, 10 comma, and 6 comma. That's all. Both are both are divisions of a perfect fourth. knowing that there are like variations possible, actually it's good to know that for myself, because as I'm dealing with a lot of, I have to really work very hard to get like exact pitches on the guitar. So I know, okay, there is a little bit of freedom. I can always say, oh, I wanted to have this a little bit higher, you know, like that. So I can go a bit more away here from the strict theory that should be like that. No, I can more go into what sounds nice to my ear, what sounds good. And also when I had lessons from Nuri Karademili, he told me like, don't take these K and S intervals, tones like 8 commas and 5 commas. Don't take them too serious. So, and if he says this with his amazing great ears, then yeah, that gives me a little bit of permission. But of course, like being musical, that's the challenge then, to find the right intonations which really sound good. Okay. I just play you a little bit of Hicaz, where I actually working with that, yeah, with playing the F a little bit higher and the G sharp a little bit lower. Okay, so you heard this kind of quality. This is quite expressive, and of course you have to get used to this. I mean, I know when I was learning that also, that actually this even lower major third. Sounds quite out if I really hold it together with a low E. I mean, it's also away from the pure major third of the harmonic series, lower, but it has like this kind of expression which you then have to go for. It's wrong in a way, but it's also right in another way, and especially when you play it in the context of the A as a kind of also leading tone. If I do that, now when it goes up to A, it's really like I can actually play it quite low, and it's working very nice actually. Yeah, and then I can do some quicker movements just in the 12 tone equal temperament, because it's not possible to play the same thing with these microtones like very quick. So I have to find different ways. So I play like more quick lines here in Hicaz, and they are just in the normal 12 tone equal temperament. And then when I stay on certain notes, I stay a little bit longer. Then I can work with the microtones very beautifully. It's working quite nice actually. All right, so that's it for the lesson. Go down in the description also, like again, I say that print out the PDF or get it on your computer, because there are also some phrases which I just also played when I improvised, and you can just check them how they are written out, and you can practice them with a sheet in front of you and really go into that. This helps supporting my channel, but you can also donate. This would be also a very cool thing. Just go down in the description below. There's a link to my website, hoophildenbrand.com, Guitar Academia page there. There you find a button where you can donate to support my channel, to get more involved here in the whole thing, in the process, to go on and on and on. Would be really cool. Yes, so thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. My name is Hildenbrand.